World Cup is right around the corner, and what better way to celebrate this than by seeing if my home country of Mexico can go through and actually win the World Cup for the first time? And we can get right into it. Do I really think that Mexico can go through, win this tournament, and finally be the world champions?
Can't wait to meet you.
There is not a chance in hell. Let me repeat myself. There's not a chance in hell. I'm putting my whole life savings in this. Not a chance in hell that Mexico wins this World Cup. And that's not to say that this team that we have going into the competition is bad, because it's not that bad as a lot of people want to make it out to seem. Now, the team that we had for the last World Cup, that was bad. That was really bad. Let me give praise to some of the good players, because it's not fair to downplay what they did, because they tried their hardest. It's just the fact that everybody else played like absolute dog shit. The first player is Memo Ochoa, the goalkeeper. At how old he was going into that competition, he's still going into this competition at 40. He was starting for us the last World Cup. This World Cup, he's a backup. The last World Cup, he was starting. And the fact that he was still one of the best players on that field, he saved a penalty against Lewandowski. Like, what? Shout out to him. He always shows up to the World Cups, but the fact that he's still doing that at his age, incredible. One of the center backs, Cesar Montes, he did pretty well. It's very difficult when the rest of the defense is really bad, so you're kind of left out kind of to dry and do all the work yourself. He still did as well as you really could have, though. One of the midfielders, Luis Chavez, I get it. It is kind of overrated that the one thing that he is known for is that one free kick that he did against Saudi Arabia. It was still a pretty good free kick, and everybody's kind of downplaying what he actually did in that World Cup. He was kind of one of the few players creating chances. It's just the fact that the attack was so bad, those chances just weren't being created. Shout out to him though, he did very well. It's sad that he's kind of getting left out of this team and not really getting a chance into this year's team. But that's mainly because the midfield this year is very, very good, and we can get into that later. But I do hope that going forward he does get his chances, because he definitely deserves it. He played a very good World Cup, and he just kind of got shifted to the side for other players to come in. And the last player I do want to give praise to is the captain at the time, which was Edson Alvarez. Now, I'm going to kind of put an asterisk to this, because he played well as a player, but not well as a captain. Individually, he did very well. He was a very good CDM, did what he had to kind of get a draw against Poland and shore up the win against Saudi Arabia. As a captain, though, he just wasn't doing what a captain should be doing, and that's leading everybody, being vocal, inspiring players to do better than what they did. And he's never really been that for Mexico. He's been surefire, he's been reliable, he's been good before the injury. He's been good. But this World Cup, it kind of put him under a microscope to show the world, and not just the world, but mainly Mexico fans, that he's just not up to par to being the captain for Mexico. He's not what Rafa Marquez was for all those years that he was the captain for us. He's just not vocal. He's not physical. He's very much like a quiet player that just keeps his head down and just hits a slide tackle when you need it. Gives a good shoulder tackle when you need it, and just recovers the ball well and puts it up the field. And he's great. I've rarely seen him do those plays that make me confident and proud that he is the captain. Now, to be fair to him and the rest of the team, there's really nobody else I would rather be the captain. At that point, I don't see who else could have been the captain that I would have been very confident in outside of Edson. He very much deserved it, but it just wasn't It just wasn't a good player to have be captain. I wish there was somebody better at the time that was there playing. But yeah, I just, it's whatever. And that's it. Out of a whole 23-man squad, there is only 1.
Oh, the suspense is killing me.
3,
Oh, when will we get to know the number of the day? Oh.
4,
Yes, 4 is the number of the day. Ha ha. Oh, look, here's 4 honkers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, yay! 4. Yes, you like that, huh?
Everybody else, what the fuck were you doing? Now we are going to go from bottom to top because we have a couple little surprises at the top, just to show how bad this team was, what we were dealing with in this World Cup. The first player, the one next to Cesar Montes, Hector Moreno, genuinely should have retired. Should have retired before this. Like, why was he out there in the field? You had a young Johan Vasquez. Even Nestor Araujo would have been better than having fucking Hector Moreno out on that field. He was so slow, so sluggish. Just didn't even look like he can keep up with the players that he was trying to defend. He just couldn't. Cesar Montes was putting in a double, a triple shift, trying to keep that scoreline down. Not only him, but Memo was definitely like showing what he could still do because of this man. Like, why was he out there, Tata? Why was he out there, Tata? At left back and at right back, Gallardo and the spawn of Satan himself, Sanchez. I'm going to give Gallardo a pass, not because I am a Toluca fan, but because I know what he can do in the attack. The way he plays is more of a wing back, and he's very good and very underrated at crossing the ball and creating chances. That works right now with Toluca and Mexico, because the way that the system works is that the center backs and the right back kind of shift to where he was supposed to be defensively. They shift and form a 3-back, so they can kind of cover for him if he loses possession or the play doesn't work and the other team is doing a counterattack. That system would work if you had anybody else at right back other than Sanchez. Sanchez was trying to do the same thing, so what are you left with? 2 players trying to defend counterattacks. Now you can have Edson Alvarez trying to hurry back and make sure that it doesn't happen, but guess what? It doesn't matter. It's just too much to handle for both of them to go up there. If it was anybody but Sanchez, it would have worked. Sanchez, I don't know what the hell he was doing up there because he's a liability on the defense and on the attack.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
So again, what was he doing there? The next player starting in midfield, Hector Herrera. The same thing I have to say about Hector Moreno. Why was Hector Herrera starting? He looked more ready to retire than Moreno did. So why was he starting? If you want a veteran presence, Guardao was on the bench. I would have rather had Guardao start than Herrera. Why the fuck was Hector Herrera starting in the World Cup? You have so many better options. I would have rather had Charlie start. I would have rather had a Romo start. I would have rather had Pineda start. Why is Herrera starting? What are you doing to me, Tata? On the attack, at left wing, Alexis Vega. At right wing, Chucky Lozano. I'm going to give another pass to Alexis Vega, not because I'm a Toluca fan, but because I know the situation that was going into that World Cup. the fact that he was so out of confidence from the whole ordeal that he had with Chivas, that whole transfer, that whole, just that whole, the whole couple seasons that he was there, you can just tell that his confidence was just fried there. His confidence was just at zero. He needed to move away, and at the worst time, the World Cup is right around the corner, and of course he has to start. There's nobody else that really was ready to start ahead of him. Like, who was going to start? Antuna? Like, no, he was too young. Although he did get starts ahead of him in a couple of friendlies, Vega was definitely the better option in terms of he just has better talent than Antuna, not only right now but at the time as well. I just wish that the World Cup would have come like a year later, so that confidence when he went to Toluca would have just sparked him to just go and probably just contribute more than what he did. Chucky just couldn't be asked. Genuinely, at that point, I don't think he could be asked. I think at that point he was at Napoli and he found the ceiling and he just didn't want to try anymore. If you want to test me on that, look at the situation right now that he's at with San Diego. He couldn't care. Couldn't care less at the time. He couldn't care less right now. And starting up top at striker was Henry Martin. Tata. Why the fuck? Did you really not have anybody else that can start ahead of Henry Martin? Genuinely, you could have played any other formation, any other system that wouldn't have let this man start. Why are you starting this man in the World Cup? Genuinely, why? This is no longer 2006. This is no longer 2010. This is no longer 2014, where Mexico can get away with starting a striker who was starting in Liga MX and putting him up top, especially at the ripe old age of, how old was he? Like 30 something? He was like 32. And you're starting Henry Martin just because what? He's the best striker in Liga MX? Get the fuck out of here. Like, why? 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 Just the development of this whole team was awful. He had years to do better than this. This is crap. This team was crap, and he knew it. I'm so happy he's no longer the coach for the Mexican national team, because this team is crap. Just awful. Just god awful. Just disappointment. The whole year. Not only that year, leading up to it, everybody knew Mexico just wasn't even going to be close to getting out of that group stage. It's surprising that we got 4 points out of that group. We shouldn't have had 3 points. We shouldn't have beat Saudi Arabia. They played better than us. So the fact that we got 4 points is a miracle to me. And as we fast forward through the years, a couple of bad managers, another couple of bad players that are starting for the national team, we go to present day and the World Cup squad that we are going to in a couple of days as we face South Africa. And again, the team is not that bad. We can go like we did just a couple minutes ago, from bottom to top, and look through the squad. And I already did say Memo is basically the backup keeper. The starting keeper is Talarangel. This is probably our weakest position that we have going into the World Cup. Some might say it's striker, but the amount of attacking options that we have up top, I would beg to differ that the keeper is probably the most unpredictable position that we have going into this World Cup. Talarangel is very much like Andre Onana, where you don't know what you're going to get with him. You know the potential and what he can do, but the mistakes and just the boneheaded decisions that have just been out there for the world to see, it's just so much of an unknown presence that I don't know how many games he might cost Mexico. He might keep just pure clean sheets, or he might concede every game. It's very up and down with him. I don't know what to expect with Talarangel. I wish we had somebody else. Memo, I don't know. Again, he's 40. Like, how old is he right now? He's like 41 going into this. Acevedo is very green in the national team. Although he has probably more potential than Rangel, I don't trust him. If Malagon wasn't injured, I still wouldn't be confident in this position. Malagon is just slightly better than Rangel. At left back and at right back, we are starting Jesus Gallardo, and instead of Sanchez is Israel Reyes. He is starting at right back, and I'm so happy that he's starting. He's so much better, especially because he has experience at center back. So he definitely works in that system that we're trying to push. Like I said before, 3-back system. Let Jesus go up there. He's a liability at defense. So just let him go up there and have them switch to a 3-back. If not, Mateo Chavez is there on the bench. Just take Jesus off, put Mateo in, and let them sit back as a pure back 4. At center back, we have Cesar Montes and Johan Vasquez. This is something I hope that they don't get injured. We are very light at center back. There's only Johan Vasquez, Cesar Montes, Luis Romo, Reyes. If you want to start Sanchez, I don't want to do that. And Edson Alvarez. No, I need to wrap them in bubble wrap. Aguirre, wrap them in bubble wrap and keep them safe. There's no good depth. There's no depth in general in this position. I'm so worried about one of them getting injured, and it's just fucked. If one of them gets injured, it's fucked. It's fucked. It's that simple. They're both very good though. Cesar Montes, not as much. Johan Vasquez, I have so much hope that he breaks out and just does incredible. He's already getting looked at by so many teams in Italy alone. I hope he breaks out and just shows the world how good he is. In the midfield, I'm pretty sure this is the starting lineup for the midfield. It's going to be Brian Gutierrez, Fidalgo, and Lira at DM. I wish Mora was starting just to give him that confidence, because I know he has it. Even though he's only 17, he is the youngest player in the entire World Cup that's going to be playing at only 17. He's younger than Pele when he started for the World Cup. This little man is ridiculous. I saw him play for the under-20 World Cup that they had last year, I'm pretty sure. He's playing with 19, 20-year-olds who are trying to get looked at and trying to make it in Europe. This little boy at 16 is playing out of his mind. He had 3 goals, 2 assists to his name. And they got knocked out, I think, in the quarter or semifinals. He was playing out of his mind. He dragged that Mexico team. That under-20s Mexico team is not that bad. Mora made them ridiculous. He was doing everything. He was playing like a true number 10 at only 16. I get it. It's only the under-20s. But let him develop. Let him play in this World Cup. He needs these minutes. He is the most valuable player that Mexico has in their team. Just let him get a couple of minutes. I know you have better options in Gutierrez, Fidalgo, Vargas. I don't care. Let him play. It's not like Mexico's gonna win it. Just let him play and get the experience to know what level he's at, so he's ready for the next World Cup. But like I said, Fidalgo and Gutierrez are probably gonna be playing next to each other, and at CDM is gonna be Lira. I don't mind it. Again, I wish Mora was starting, but that's fine. Gutierrez is in incredible form right now. After Liga MX, he's banging in goals, he's banging in assists, and he's taking that position. If he didn't play so well, not only in Liga MX but in the international field as well, he's not even in this. He's not even in the squad. But the way he's been playing the past like 6 months, he just took the spot and he's run with it. In the last game when we played against, who did we play? I think we played Serbia. He was the best player. Like genuinely, he was the best player on that field next to Quiñones. Like he's ridiculous, and he's only like what, like 23? Like come on, man, ridiculous player. Fidalgo, I have hope for. He doesn't play a lot for Betis, but when he does play, he does make a couple good chances. And again, he's playing in Europe. That's not to say that everybody that plays in Europe is good, but the way he plays in Europe, like that's pretty good. CDM Lira, I think he's good enough. I think he's good enough to edge out Edson Alvarez. I wish Essa didn't get injured again. He's starting to develop an injury problem. And I just wish he wasn't so injured because I love the player so much. But I think Lira is he's just better. He's just safer at this point. And we need somebody safe, especially in that midfield when the system that we're playing needs a CDM. I need Lira. I can't have Edson Alvarez. He's played a couple of friendlies and he just looks out of place. He just looks slow. When he was looking fast and electric and ready to make a slide tackle, he just looks late. He's causing fouls. I'm afraid if he starts in front of Lira, he might cause a foul late on in the game and we can see a goal from it. I can't have that. Can't have that. At left wing, Julian Quiñones. At right wing, El Piojo Alvarado. I'm kind of upset at how we're playing. We're playing a 4-3-3, so it's kind of forcing Quiñones to be a left winger. And like said, with center back, the wingers are not that much of a better position to have in terms of depth. All that's there is Quiñones, Vega, Piojo, and El Chino. If you want to put Pineda out there, I don't know why you would, but I guess he's an option. He has experience out there. Outside of that, that's it. I don't trust that. That's just not good depth at all. Honestly, that's worse than the center backs. At least the starters are better at center back than they are out in the wing. I wish Quiñones was up there with Raul Jimenez as a striker. They're kind of playing him more like a cam for some reason, or like an inside winger. Yeah, that's just play a 2 up front system. Like it's not that hard. It's not that different from what you're already doing. Just make that the formation. Like why are you trying to trick teams? Like they know what you're doing. Like, do you really think he's gonna play out on the wing? No. The fuck? You're trying to outsmart everybody, but it's not really gonna work if they know what the actual plan is. Like Piojo shouldn't be starting. Genuinely, he's probably like, outside of Rangel, he's probably like the one player I'm saying why he's starting. I'd rather have Vega out of position. I'd rather have Chino start in front of him. Like, he just looks so out of place on this team. Especially on the last... I'm referencing this game a lot, but it's not just the last game that we had against Serbia. There's so many games, not only on the international field, but even in Liga MX, where he just looks so uncomfortable out on that wing. He's just afraid to press through and show confidence. He just kind of gets the ball at the corner of the box and just stays there and waits for either to cut back outside on the outside of the box and try and cross it or shoot it, or he just stays there. He just stays there looking for somebody to overlap him so he can pass it. He looks so scared, and you can't have that, especially in this competition. You can't have players like that. He's probably going to be the first player to be subbed off, if not dropped from the team entirely, if we make it through past the group stage. And starting up top is Raulito Jimenez. He's gotten a lot of flack recently over how he plays, how he just is a tap-in merchant. He's not there in big occasions. Me personally, I kind of agree with it. I wish somebody like La Hormiga was starting up top. I don't know if I would take him or Santi. But right now he's probably like our best option, just because I know he can get it. I know if you just need somebody to tap it in, just like tap it in right there, he can get it done. Like he'll probably miss a sitter, but he'll hit the next one. Like he's kind of 50-50 with it. But a part of me just trusts him, especially with him being perfect on penalties. He's never missed a penalty. So that's kind of like the only hope I have for him starting. Genuinely, that's it. Outside of that, the team isn't that bad. Like I said, like we have good depth in some position, bad depth in others, but it definitely looks a lot better than what it did the last World Cup. Especially with the group that we have. The group that we have going into this is Mexico, the Czech Republic, South Africa, and South Korea. In my opinion, I don't see how Mexico doesn't top that group. I have Mexico coming out on top with 7 points, followed by Czech Republic with 5 points, then South Korea with 4, and then South Africa either with 1 or 0 points. I think we can beat South Africa. I think we can beat South Korea, and I think we struggle with Czech Republic with just how physical they are. But that's kind of what I'm expecting out of this World Cup. I don't see how we even come second in this. Like genuinely, even if we come third in this, I think we have a very good possibility of being one of the teams that are one of the third best to go into it and face a very difficult team out in the next bracket of the World Cup. Now, in terms of a prediction for this year's World Cup, I genuinely don't see how Mexico make it past the round of 16. Like genuinely, I just think there are so many better teams in terms of quality, in terms of depth. Even though Mexico is playing at home because the World Cup is here in Canada, Mexico, the US, I don't see how a crowd would push them past all those other qualities. Like genuinely, I don't see how a crowd would force Mexico to make it past the round of 16. That, and again, that's just in my opinion. But that doesn't mean I don't have hope for this national team going forward. They already said that Javier Aguirre isn't coming back, although that is kind of sad. He was good. They already said to appoint Rafa Marquez as the next head coach. And with somebody of that quality that he was as a player, I know he has that same quality, that same fight, that same drive to be an incredible head coach for this national team. And now let's move on to some of the players that are ones to watch going into the next couple of World Cups. Johan Vasquez, I already mentioned him before, but I don't see how he doesn't jump up, not only in terms of quality, but the potential that he has. Like it's genuinely like mind-boggling, like how some teams just aren't looking at him. It's generally, I feel like it's generally just the Serie A who are looking at him. Like I don't see how PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona isn't looking at this man. Like he's genuinely like that damn good. In 4 years, I don't see how this man isn't not only the best player in Mexico, but the captain of the Mexican national team. Like he has that sort of potential, in my opinion. The next player I do want to name is probably the second best player that's going to be on this team for the next World Cup, Gilberto Mora. Like, I don't know how much praise I have to give this young man. At the age of 17, he's already this good. I don't see how in 4 years he's in Europe. He's playing for one of the best teams in Europe and being one of the most creative, one of the most electrifying players on that field. I know this is like kind of like a weird comparison, but he genuinely, in my opinion, has that same sort of hype that Giovanni Dos Santos had. Just stay away from the alcohol. That's it. Just stay away from the parties and the alcohol. It's not that hard. Genuinely, it's not that hard. Mora, please. I know you have that potential. Just please stay away from that shit, and you'll be one of the best fucking players in the world. Genuinely. The next player I do want to highlight is Brian Gutierrez. This is a kind of like a weird comp, but in my opinion, I don't see how he isn't like Marco Fabian. Like, I genuinely don't see a difference between them. Like, two electrifying players playing in the midfield, getting up there when they need to, and just scoring bangers. Like, coming out of nowhere as well. Just scoring goals, being electric, and just off of pure skill as well. Like, genuinely, don't see a difference between them. The next player is Obed Vargas. Last year, he was playing for the Seattle Sounders. In January, he transferred to Atletico Madrid, and he's been playing pretty damn well. He doesn't play a lot, just like Fidalgo, but genuinely, this kid is ridiculous, and he's only 20. He's rumored to being loaned out in the summer, but that doesn't matter. I genuinely think some playing time would help him develop even more than he already is. I don't think he'll get a lot of minutes in this World Cup, but by the time the next World Cup comes, I don't see how he's not starting. Like, he's genuinely giving me Guardado vibes. Just a rock in the midfield. Genuinely just a rock. He's incredible as a pure number 8. Incredible. The next player I do want to highlight, and this is probably going to be the last player I do, is La Hormiga. This kid is ridiculous. Again, a kid who came out of nowhere, just coming off the bench for Chivas last year, and look at him now. He's genuinely compared as the next Chicharito. Like, I don't see how in 4 years he doesn't have the same trajectory as Chicharito did, playing for teams like Manchester United, Real Madrid, Bayern Leverkusen, just taking over Europe. This kid is ridiculous, and he does have some games where he's up and down, but the games that he has that are ups are ridiculous. He's getting braces, he's getting hat tricks, he's getting involved in assists as well. Like, he's ridiculous. He's honestly, in my opinion, projected to be better than Chicharito. Like, he is a pure striker. He is, I don't know how many times I have to say this, he's ridiculous. By this time in 4 years, I don't see how this isn't one of the best players in the world. Like, I know I'm saying that a lot, I might be biased, but there's so many players on this team who can develop to be generational. Like, in my opinion, this is probably the most hyped and excited I've been to see a Mexican team develop outside of the 2014 World Cup team. Like, players like Chicharito that we had, Guardado, Fabian. They still had veteran presence like Rafa Marquez, Memo Ochoa. Like, there's so many great players on that team. I see the same players on this team. If they can just develop well, and I know that's a big if and a big ask, I don't see how this team doesn't make it past not only the round of 16, but the quarterfinals, even the semifinals. Can we make a finals? I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. The only thing really holding this team back is the Federation. The Federation is very, very against having Mexican players go outside of Mexico just because they're money hungry. They're very afraid of losing TV rights and just having people not watch the Mexican league. I think that's just a cop out. I think they're very, very money hungry. There's already players coming back, and it's a cycle. It's a cycle of, you have young Mexican talent. They're great in Liga MX. They develop well. They get a transfer to Europe. They flop, and then they come back home to Liga MX, and they just stay there. It's just a loop. They either go to Liga MX or they go to the MLS. And I'm tired of that cycle. It's been like 15 years that I've seen that cycle happen so many damn times. Of course, there are some exceptions like Rafa Marquez, Andres Guardado, Marco Fabian, Chicharito, Memo Ochoa. But it can't just be a handful of players that turn into just absolute superstars around the world, and you just have like a trunk load of players who are afraid to leave because they're afraid of flopping. Like, no, the Federation has to be behind these players to go to Europe and develop. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? You're costing not only your team, but your fans. Just a good team to watch. You're afraid of losing money, but you're losing money by doing that same very thing. There's so many people that just don't want to watch Mexico play because they haven't seen the teams develop, or they're just afraid of getting hooked right back into it. Like a Cowboys fan.
I believe. I believe. I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
They have to get their head out of their ass. Like, genuinely. I'm not the first person to say this. A lot of people are saying this, not only on YouTube, but news reporters are saying this. This is not a new thing. This has been a thing for many, many, many years, decades even. They are so afraid of this, and I don't know why. It's not that hard. Just let them develop. Let them leave. the money is not that big of an issue. Genuinely.